PAX East, the most wonderful time of the year. This is my first PAX. We're here to check out some games, do some stuff. Check it out. So I'm here with Joe from Tower of Guns. Now, Joe and I have spoke before on Vinesauce, but today I actually got a chance to meet the guy, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Tower of Guns. So Joe, how you doing at PAX, and how do you like the show so far?
The show is pretty awesome. I'm pretty exhausted, but I'm having a great time.
I think we can all agree on that one. So tell us, what's new in Tower of Guns as of the latest patch, and what are you doing in the future with Tower of Guns?
Well, right now I'm working on a patch for the game that actually adds in a little bit more controller support. It's not like still official controller support, but it's like people who are controller gamers will finally be able to play the game with their actual gamepads. Working on a few extra tidbits, and since the game's release, when you go from having like, you know, a couple of hundred early access people to thousands of players overnight, a lot of new bugs pop up. So I've been spending some time doing some due diligence and making sure that people have a product that's more sturdy for them. And then after that, you know, I finally will have time to take a break. And then I'll start thinking about what I want to do next, what the future of the game is and stuff like that.
How are players enjoying the game? Like, I know you've been watching a lot of people play the game for the first time today, and how's the reaction been?
The reaction has been awesome. Everybody seems to be walking away pretty happy. I mean, this game shows pretty well at conferences in general because people can start like watching over each other's shoulders and they see the action, and it's very easy to get into. But I've actually set one machine up to be permanently Nightmare, and anybody who's able to beat the demo on Nightmare mode gets a free copy of the game. So far, 160 people have played through, and I think 10 have beaten it, maybe 11. So not very many people have actually gotten the free keys that way, but it's been fun.
Mike, you made the music for Tower of Guns. Tell me a little bit about how you approached the project.
Well, my brother Joe, he approached me. He asked if I would be interested in working on the music for the game. So I initially just sent him a bunch of ideas, like snippets of stuff, and he told me what he liked, and I took that and I expanded on it, and he wanted different styles, so he would just kind of describe it to me, and then as the game was starting to be developed, I would actually play through it and then get some ideas myself for music that would fit. So it was kind of a lot of back and forth.
Was Killer Clowns from Outer Space an influence on one of the tracks in your game? Hey, I'm here with James from Discord, and we're going to talk about Chasm. We spoke a little bit before about Chasm on the stream, and I see it's in a more complete stage at the moment. Well, more content, some changes. Yep. Tell us a little bit about the present state of Chasm.
Cool. Yeah, so we've just been working really hard on it. The engine and tools are all done, and we're just down to the content grind now, so we're trying as hard as we can to wrap it up this year. We're really shooting for a fall release, and it'll be on Steam and DRM free. Castlevania probably started as our biggest inspiration. We were huge fans of Symphony of the Night, and you know, the whole concept was maybe if we could change it so it's not always the same exact game, you know, what would that be like with the Metroid style game? So that's kind of where it started, and we didn't want to be too close to Castlevania, so then we started taking other influences from games like Zelda and Mega Man and you know, a bunch of others that we grew up with on NES and Super Nintendo. So the support we got from all of our fans in the community was just mind-blowing, and the fact that, you know, we can make something like this that no publisher would ever want to touch because you can't market it to a wide audience is just incredible. You know, we feel super lucky to be making games at a time like this. This is our first PAX, so we didn't know what to expect, but everybody's been super cool, and we've had an absolutely wonderful time. So.
Video Games 2015. This is the future, my friends. So much space, so many room for activities, taken up by fucking American gladiators. Well, I'm here with my friend Alix from Robot Loves Kitty. You've seen her on the stream a number of times, Chaotic Kitty, right?
Yes.
And here she is now. I'm gonna get a chance to talk to her. So, you made, with Calvin, Legend of Dungeon.
Yes.
We love that game.
Good.
Tell us a little bit about how having the game out now feels. Like, how is that for you?
It's insane. It's really awesome, though. It's like, I love everybody. That's what it feels like.
The reception has been pretty good, right?
Very good, yeah.
And how are you enjoying PAX today?
It's awesome. It's so much fun. I love PAX.
Do you find fatigue comes quickly?
Yes. Yeah, I feel old.
We all do. So what's the future hold for Robot Loves Kitty?
We're making more games, obviously. That's what you do when you make games. But right now we're going to be working on doing the update for Legend of Dungeon. That's the pet system and the unlockable classes.
Cool, classes. Do you have anything you want to say, or any last minute things?
I like cake.
Do that again.
I like cake.
So I'm here with Rami Ismail, one half of Lambe, showing Nuclear Throne. Today you just announced that Nuclear Throne is now co-op, which is very exciting.
Yeah, we are really excited about that. That has been a long time coming. It's one of those things, ever since we originally launched the game, people have been asking for it. And, you know, we thought it wouldn't work, but since everybody kept asking, we tried anyway, and it works. It works. It's really, really fun, and we're really excited to be announcing it. And to be, I think it's literally uploading to Steam right now, so it will be available in a few seconds.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So LUFTRAUSERS just released. That one's been a long time coming. That one's kind of had this big history of turmoil. I mean, the whole cloning situation that we got going on. Could you provide a little perspective on that? Just a couple words.
So LUFTRAUSERS, we originally started working on that when we got cloned for Ridiculous Fishing. We had to make a game because we weren't making anything else, and LUFTRAUSERS is a game that we made while we were angry. Because it was angry, it was sort of reckless. And it ended up taking way more time than we thought. It ended up getting cloned as well, but because we had learned how to deal with that, because we had learned to be open, nothing bad happened to us. Then when it came out, after 2.5 years of work, 8 months of just awful paperwork that we just had to fill out and make sure everything was good. Launching your first console game is hard. It's way harder than people think. It's way harder than I thought it would be. After it came out, it did really, really well. People loved it. It's doing great, both financially and critically. I think it's sitting on like an 80+ Metacritic score right now on all platforms. It's amazing. I'm extremely happy about that because it has been such a long time coming, and to have a project like that work out, to feel like people really get the game, is really awesome.
So Lambe is kind of this, like, a lot of people see you guys as like a factory of indie games. Like, you're always working on multiple projects at a time. Now LUFTRAUSERS is out, Ridiculous Fishing is done. Is it just all Nuclear Throne right now, or can you tease us on things that are coming up?
We're always working on more stuff. Like, I mean, we're always prototyping, we're always making little things. Like, the way we work is we like prototyping. So we've had, during Nuclear Throne, we've had a bunch of prototypes that just didn't really go anywhere. There will be one prototype that does go anywhere. So we'll just see. We're just prototyping. We're having a lot of fun making Nuclear Throne. It's probably the most fun project we've worked on. So for now, our main focus is here.
Well, thank you very much for your time. So Nuclear Throne, LUFTRAUSERS, Ridiculous Fishing, fantastic games. I love all of them. Please check them out.
The Molyneux sphere. Inside the sphere is the secrets to life. KY goes into the monosphere to get mono. He's ready to go in. He's a brave soul. He's like an astronaut of his day. So as we see here, KY is training to be a human hamster. And here's what he sees. Look at that. It's Unity. looks a little bit like a fantastic game. It's nice. Very fantastic. And there's KY. He's in the wheel. Unfortunate. Look at him go.
He like flew up into the sky. I'm not sure what happened.
Look. It's going so fast. Look at that. Yeah. Just residue and particles all over the place.
Yeah, you kind of wobble from side to side. It's looking real life.
And this is sponsored yet again by the New England Institute of Technology since 1940. All right.
It's pretty good, eh? What else we got here? We got the hamster wheel. Got that. Yeah.
That's probably the best thing.
You want to sign up for college, this is the place to go. You got to go there. You know, little deck and 2 cents too. Just like a blink of an eye, it's over, pretty much. That's about it right there, you know. All right.
Adam tries to exit the wheel, but it proves to be more of a challenge than he first imagined. The wheel has given birth to our friend. And thus a new cycle begins. He'll be a butterfly in 3 days. Alright, so I'm here with Alix from Dyscourse. Alix, tell me a little bit about your game.
Alright, so Dyscourse is basically a cycle calling and a psychological survival narrative game.
All right, so I'm here with Alix from Alchemy Labs, who is showcasing Dyscourse. So tell me, Alix, how's PAX been for you so far?
Oh man, it's been freaking great. We got our booth set up, and you can see some stats here. Spoilers, jeez. The whole point of the game basically is that you're crash landed on this desert island, you're making moral gray area decision choices. And the first thing that happened Friday morning was basically husband and wife sat down, played the game. And they stood up after the game and they're like, hey, what happened to you like day 2 when you were going to get water? And they're like, no, day 2, Steve had already died. And then I was going over to the wreckage and they started comparing notes. And as developers, we were sitting there like, yes, it's working.
Now, I played Dyscourse yesterday, and my experience was completely different than KY's experience. That is what makes the game so fun. Every playthrough is completely unique. How much effort does something like that take for a video game?
It's kind of crazy. And you can see like there's a stat screen here where we're actually aggregating stats of the players who have just played at PAX. So this represents the like 30 or 40 people or 50 people who've played so far today. So it's like, 33% got themselves killed or whatever. And we're trying to make sure that these gray area decisions are not weighted 95-5, but instead are really down the middle so that people aren't, picking all the same choices. So in the end, once we have a 10-day experience and you have a full game, we want it so that you played through and maybe you saw 10% of the written narrative content in one playthrough, and then someone else played and they're like, no, something, like you said, I had a totally different narrative experience, I had different characters with me, I had different experiences. That's kind of how we want it to flop out. I love the concept that you can walk into this game, sit down and say, I want to watch the world burn, right? You could say, I'm going for like as many deaths as quickly as possible. And we want that to be a totally viable option. And it doesn't always have to be about, maintaining great relations and all that kind of stuff. If you want to go and kind of screw things up and see how it works, it's almost like a human nature simulation. So.
Hi, I'm here with Tyler Sigman, one of the lead designers on Darkest Dungeon. Tell me a little bit about Darkest Dungeon.
Sure. Darkest Dungeon is an RPG about the psychological stresses of adventuring. So it turns out that being an adventurer actually is not a very pleasant job. You're fighting all kinds of horrible creatures, constant threat of death. So what we've done is try to put the humanity back into heroism, where essentially you need to worry about your hero's mental energy and strength and condition just as much as their physical condition.
That's great. I really love the art style of the game in particular. I think it meshes really well. Could you tell me anything about how the art informed the gameplay or vice versa? Because it's clearly that it's a big part of the core of the game is the art style plus the psychological things that are going on.
Sure, yeah. I think it comes down to creative direction. So Chris Barrasso, he's the artist and creative director on the project. Darkest Dungeon is a game about the reality that not everything is flawless. That we're all flawed people. And that even the concept of someone adventuring, there's ulterior motives and there's a lot of various things that happen. So the art style also has to reflect that this dark, gritty setting that we've done. So I mean, the activities you do and the fact that your heroes can become afflicted in various ways: fear, paranoia, irrationality, depression, masochism, all these different ways. The art style has to reflect that as well. But we've also done a little bit of exploration there where the characters themselves, you can kind of see, they're almost a little bit cute, they're almost a little bit cartoony, and that also helps bring things down so that when some of these horrible things happen, it's still a little funny. It's not a comedic game, but we're also, we're gamifying stress, but we're not really wanting you to have a miserable time. So that's why the art is a mix that reflects all those values.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I want to say congratulations on your successful Kickstarter. I was a backer from the beta tier, so I'm looking forward to playing it. When can we expect Darkest Dungeon to hit, if there's any time frame at all right now?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we're looking at early access in the late fall on Steam. Early access will be on Steam only, PC and Mac. And then, early access usually is something that will be, 4 to 6 months. So right now we're targeting the late fall that's our first milestone, and we'll keep people informed if that happens to change. Like right now we've just come out of the Kickstarter, which was amazing, and here we are shown at PAX at the first public actual playable build. It's been going great. We're getting lots of awesome feedback, and so we need to kind of take all that and put it all together and make the roadmap to the end of the project. But I mean, things are going great right now.
That's great. I'm looking forward to playing it, hopefully 4 days out. So.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, I'm here with Reds from the show. How you doing, Reds?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Doing pretty all right. Just getting hungry. A lot of stuff going on here. It's a really good time.
No, it's crazy. It's packed right now. And can't even walk around the floor. This isn't even a microphone, is it? Can I eat that though? Is that summer sausage?
No, it's for me for later.
For later.
Yeah, talk into the sausage, please.
Black already?
I'm here with Jabon LaFonshon, and we're going to be talking about his new game. All right, we've been talking about it for a little while now. We're really excited about it. Tell us about the game.
Well, Diaper Changing Pro is, I was inspired when I had my child about 3 years ago. It sucks changing diapers. There's nothing fun about that. And I thought if I could make it a touchscreen game, it would make it a little bit more enjoyable to change diapers. And, every diaper is different.
Now, the influx of the simulator games, you got Goat Simulator, you got Meat Simulator, you got Dunkin' Donuts Simulator, all these things. What do you say to those simulators in comparison to your game? How realistic is it? How cutting edge is it?
Well, that's not about human nature. I mean, you have to go to the bathroom at some point. When do you have to go to a bathroom in Goat Simulator? Do you do that? No, you don't.
Hello, I'm here with Itay Keren, here to promote his upcoming game, Mushroom 11. Tell me a little bit about Mushroom 11.
So Mushroom 11 is a game that started Global Game Jam 2012, and you are this amorphous blob, and the only way you can move yourself is by destroying cells, and when you destroy the cells, they immediately regrow. So you kind of maintain this kind of a Play-Doh organism, and it always you can mold it to whatever shape that you want, or split it, or reattach it. And there are many challenges that are based on that kind of very versatile mechanics that is kind of emerged out of this very basic control.
Great. One of the things I really like about Mushroom 11 is that it doesn't focus a lot on things like power-ups and ways of morphing the original mechanic, but instead it just explores that basic mechanic to its full depth. What can you tell me about that?
All right, so this is actually a very mindful decision to not do power-ups. As a designer, just like there's like something very basic, but very versatile. What can I do with it?
Right.
And there's a lot. I'm still coming up with more ideas.
Good. When can our viewers expect Mushroom 11 to hit?
We're talking about a little bit after holiday season, around January 2015, and we're going to go on Steam and on PC, Mac, Linux, as well as various handhelds. Definitely consoles. We've been talking to a few platforms, and we're planning to ship it on anywhere that it makes sense, that it's fun, it feels natural to play, because I'm not going to force it on like joystick control. It feels just doesn't work.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. Mushroom 11, keep an eye out for it. All right, so I'm here with Adam Winkels promoting Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks.
So Lovers, I've been looking forward to Lovers in Dangerous Spacetime for years now. I remember seeing some footage and being really excited. Now seeing that it's coming together really well. Tell for those in our audience who don't know a little bit about Lovers in Dangerous Spacetime.
So Lovers is a 1 or 2 player kind of co-op micro platformer inside a space shooter. Basically, you play as one of 2 characters. You kind of have direct kind of platforming Mario-esque controls of them, and they're inside a spaceship. And that spaceship has a bunch of different stations, and so you have to move your character to each of those stations, and it controls a different part of the ship. There's about 6 or 7 stations on the ship, but there's only 2 people inside the ship, so it's really about working together to be able to manage all the threats that you have, given that your ship is severely understaffed.
So one of the interesting topics about this game is that it's mainly a co-op game. It's local only. I know that you guys struggled a lot with internal decisions, like do we implement a single player mode, which you did with the dog companion, or do we try to do online, see what happens? Could you tell us a little bit about some of those decisions that you had to make?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the 1 player mode, we realize, there's going to be often times when you're going to want to play the game, but you might not necessarily have someone sitting beside you. We wanted to have a perfectly great way for people to be able to play it alone, and it's just as fun playing it 1 player. You don't necessarily get to yell at the other person as much because they don't exist. But in terms of online, the main thing was communication is so key in this game that if we couldn't necessarily guarantee that everyone would have headset and could communicate easily, then there's no point. There's no point. That people aren't going to have a good time. So that's why we kind of wanted to focus on local co-op.
Well, it's great. I'm looking forward to adding it to the collection of this current renaissance of couch local multiplayer games. So that's a wonderful thing. Does the dog have a name?
Well, we're thinking Dash, maybe. Dash is a good name.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So when can we expect Lovers in Dangerous Spacetime to hit?
So we don't have a definitive date yet. We're working as hard as we can. It should be as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, take your time. The game looks amazing.
Thank you.
So thank you.
All right now.
Hey, I'm here with Tommy from Team Meat. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Super Meat Boy and Mew-Genics. So, Tom, how you doing? How's PAX so far?
It's busy. I'm tired.
Are you? Do you like going to conventions? Do you enjoy them?
I do. I like the fan interaction. It's nice to see, just people enjoying what you've done. The crowds are a little bit much, but I mean, yeah, it's all right. It's very tiring though.
Yeah, we all know that. So tell us. I mean, you got Mew-Genics on display. Tell us a little bit about the game for anyone that may be uninitiated.
So Mew-Genics is all about breeding cats and fighting cats and racing them and putting them in pageants. And it's just you hoard cats, you hoard furniture, you breed cats. All the furniture you hoard manipulates the world in certain ways. So like certain pieces of furniture will encourage mutation or encourage cats to be born with high hit points or high damage, high beauty. And basically what you're doing is you're just trying to make cats that fit, the task that you're trying to accomplish. So if you wanted to get through all the fights, all of Butch's fights, you would fill your house with things that raise attack damage or raise toughness or hit points. Different sort of things like that to manipulate the world with what you have to accomplish the goals that you want to make.
So on behalf of all the viewers, I would like to thank Tommy Refenes and the rest of Team Meat. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So I am here with Matthias Bossi, one half of Ridiculon, who is working on the soundtrack for Mew-Genics and The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. How are you doing today, Matthias?
I am fantastic. It's a wonderful day in Boston. Happy for spring to finally be here. I've had a lovely walk through the city. I've had a decaf iced coffee. I'm being feted by Tommy and all of the people here. I'm feeling really good. Thank you.
Is this your first gaming convention?
Absolutely, my first and last. Thank you.
Is it treating you well?
Well, I've been here for a half an hour. I have to say this is an auditory hallucination here. I'm not quite sure what I'm hearing. I like to kind of, mostly I'm like sticking my ear in the back of the flat screen over here to make sure that my music is looping. Right. And it is actually. So I can't tell. Like, it might be a relief to actually like put some headphones on and hear the sound of gunfire or something like that. It would be like peaceful, and as opposed to this like earthquake,
So one thing I like about Ridiculon is that it's all live recorded music. It's all composed. It's in the style of, I guess, some traditional video game soundtracks, especially Rebirth, whereas Mew-Genics is more like back to like 50s, 60s pop music. Do you think that there's going to be a future market after Rebirth and Mew-Genics hit for that kind of more live band sound as opposed to FM synths and DAWs and things like that?
That's to be determined. It's my hope. We're having a lot of fun. I mean, certainly having Edmund and Tommy as bosses is great because basically I go to work every day and try and get fired. And then at that point where I feel like I've gone over the waterfall to the dark side, they're like, that's it.
Is there anything else that you want to say to our viewers before we wrap up?
God, where are your viewers? Are they all across the world?
All over the world.
Well, people of Thailand, people of Wellington, New Zealand, people of Columbus, Ohio, wherever you may be. This man is a Rick Wakefield fan. He is, this is a good dude here. And, keep on playing games and keep on encouraging the use of live music that has bits of broken instruments and general mayhem. And you'll keep me a happy man.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Sauce. Hey, I'm here with a very special guest today, Tim Shafer. So Tim, tell me a little bit about your new game. So I'm here with Steve from ThinkGeek, and we're going to be talking about some products and how he's enjoying the convention. How's PAX been for you, Steve?
PAX is a blast. This is one of our favorite shows of the year. We've been here twice now. This is the second year, and we look forward to it all the time. The fans are amazing, the crowd, the buzz. This is the place that we want to be every year.
So ThinkGeek is very, not primarily gaming oriented, but you guys have a lot of gaming products. You guys have a lot of gaming promotions. Let's talk a little bit about some of the gaming stuff. What are some popular products that you guys have?
You're right. We actually do carry a lot of gaming stuff, and that ranges from hardware to just kind of accessories as well as just fun things you can have for gaming. One of the most popular things that we've seen perennially is always Portal. Portal's super popular. It's been about 3 years since the last Portal game, but it's still one of those things that's selling. So here at PAX, what we're doing is we've got Portal plush turrets that are motion and light activated. They throw out the sounds. They make all the cute the turret noises. They vibrate if you knock them down. One of the other things that we're moving is the customizable Portal gun. NECA came out with it a bunch of years ago, and so we've got the actual stripes and things like that. And actually, we got one left on the shelf. It's the very last one. Yeah, so I mean, it's been moving really, really well for us. Another really popular thing this year has been the Bioshock. Bioshock Infinite and the Skyhook and things like that. We're seeing a lot of cosplayers with it, and we had the Skyhook that sold out on day one. This is a treasure chest. This one's actually ThinkGeek made and designed. So it's got the classic 8-bit styling on it. And now when I'm going to open it up, everything lights up. The coins aren't included, but what you can't hear because it's super loud in here is that there's also sound going on as well. So it's that, like, you got the victory, you got the treasure chest, you're going to collect your coins, you're good to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
And finally, I mean, I buy a lot of Star Trek stuff on the site.
Right.
What is more popular on ThinkGeek? What sells more, Star Wars or Star Trek? It's a tough choice, right?
It's a tough choice. Right now, I'm going to have to give it to Star Trek. We came out with these uniform hoodies, the next generation
TNG.
Hoodies, the TNG hoodies. When you zip it up, it looks like you've got the collar and everything. People are accessorizing with them.
They got the pips.
Blazing. Oh, it's perfect. It's so good. But next year, we got a new Star Wars, and so I think that's going to come up really strong and really hard, and I think it's going to probably put Star Trek a little bit behind in the running.
Cool. Well, listen, Steve, I want to thank you so much for the interview, and this has been great. I wish you the best of luck at PAX, and maybe I'll see you next year.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm here with Ichiro from Drunken Robot Pornography. Ichiro, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Tell me a little bit about the game.
Okay, well, like I'm speaking to a man speaking into a sausage, so I imagine that this will, holy crap.
sausage.
Yeah.
I'm here with Ichiro from Jabon Games. Today we're going to be talking about Drunken Robot Pornography. So, Ichiro, tell me a little bit about the game. It looks great.
Oh no, we're just talking about porn.
We can talk about porn too, but what do you like?
So, like my new book, Drunken Robot Pornography, is an expose wherein you, the reader, play the role of a gentleman who has a bar, and he decides to give his robot sentience, right? And you do something like that, right? You seem like the kind of guy who would be down with that.
I would enjoy that.
Okay, so that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Because your robots will go crazy, steal your other robots, and start attacking Boston with them.
How do we stop them?
Well, let me tell you, dear reader, you will strap on a jetpack and you will blow them up one by one. As you can see, these guys are playing the PAX build of Drunken Robot Pornography, and they're basically going from robot to robot, kicking ass. It's just about giant boss battles.
So very fast-paced, arcadey. Would you say some of the arena shooters from back in the day were an influence on this game?
Absolutely. So the arena shooters, Smash TV, Bullet Hell, all that's in there. Tribes.
Are you saddened by the fact that we don't have as many fast-paced arena shooters as we used to?
No, I think these things will come and go in waves, right? And for right now, you have Drunken Robot Pornography. I am going to guess that my reflexes are not as good now as they were 15 years ago. We'll have to test that. But if Twitch shooters come back into style, am I just going to be old and decrepit and I'm going to get fragged all over the place?
Like Raptor Claws trying to use a mouse. I hear you. Well, listen, this game looks fantastic. I recommend everyone check it out. Drunken Robot Pornography. Thank you so much for the interview. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of PAX.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, I'm Ryan Chapley. I'm the producer on Age of Mythology Extended Edition, and we are coming to you live from PAX East today to show off Age of Mythology and talk about the game a little bit. This game is coming out to Steam on May 8th. You can go on and pre-purchase right now, and we're really excited to bring back a real classic. This is a 12-year-old title that we initially had, and the community support was so big around it that we wanted to bring it back, bring it to Steam, update a bunch of the visuals, new lighting systems, time of day, new graphics, make it really integrated within the Steam Workshop. So you can actually mod pretty much anything in the game. There's leaderboards, there's trading cards, Twitch integration, and much more. So we're really excited to bring this to Steam, and hope you guys get online and check it out soon.